So if they think that the Lord is not coming and bringing violence, these people out their goddamn mind. They living in a damn fairy tale. They might as well go take. They might as well take a long walk off the top of the Empire State Building. They might as well go there and walk down. That's what they might as well do. Because the Lord is coming back to lay the smack down on this place. He ain't coming to set this place up. You think the kingdom, you think it's going to be goddamn faggots running around in the kingdom? You think it's going to be lesbians running around in the kingdom? You think it's going to be child molesters freely walking around in the kingdom? You think it's going to be cross-dressing ass men, transgenders in the kingdom of heaven? Hell no. You think these Edomites are going to be walking freely without a foot in their ass or a chain around their neck? You think they're going to be walking around freely like that? Give me the one, Shop Assessment in the land of the Get me, get Revelations 13, 9, and 10. Finish off what you got.
Acts 1 and 7. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power.
Right. He said, in other words, it ain't time for that right now. It wasn't time for the kingdom to be physically set up back then. The kingdom was being spiritually built back then. Because we had the the Apostle Paul later on said we had to fall first. There had to be a falling away first. The Apostle Paul said that. We had to fall first. We had to discontinue from our heritage. Like it says in Jeremiah. The Lord said he's going to cause us to discontinue from the heritage that he gave us. So the first thing that comes in our people's mind, oh, we came from West Africa, so we African. When in the ancient world, we were warring with Hamites. We were refugees there in West Africa. You know what a refugee is? A person that runs out of their own land into another land seeking refuge from an onslaught. That's how we got there. Because we was running from the Romans. Because when the Lord was on the scene, the Romans was persecuting us. Like it said, from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven was suffering violence. And the violence take it by force. So what happened? Over 1 million of us ran into Africa, running from the Romans. But we didn't just run into Africa, we ran all up into different parts of Europe and going as far east out as we could go to get away from the Romans. But Whack History Month ain't gonna tell you that. They're gonna tell you that you African and that the white man is the Jew, the white man is the Christian, when he ain't nothing but the motherfucking devil. That's what he is. During that time, during the Dark Ages, number one, why do you think they call it the Dark Ages? Dark people was ruling, black people. We was ruling. We was putting our foot in their ass. The same thing that they doing to us now, we was doing that to them in England and Spain and Portugal. We was doing that to them. Hell, in Russia, Germany, Austria, all of them different places. The same shit that they doing to us now, we was doing that to them. Putting their ass in jail. Where they belong. So they flipped the game around on us now. We was doing that to them. Putting their ass away. And now they doing it to us now. If they was always ruling, if you know anything about history, then why did they have to have something called the Renaissance? The word Renaissance is a French word. Re means back and naissance means birth. So if they was always in power, hey, let the man walk through, as long as he ain't coming through the camp. If they was always in power, why did they have to have a rebirth? Because their ass was brought down for a period of time. Then they had a rebirth. During that time, during the time of the Dark Ages, we had them in fucking slavery. All throughout England. Portugal and Spain, we controlled all of that. Germany, Austria, all of them different places. Even going as far out as Russia. Hell, Turkey. We were controlling Turkey. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, read it. Just read it and then show the picture of it.
Yeah, this is Nature Knows No Color Line, J. Rogers. This is page 114. Right? It says pretty much A French writer of 1635 says there were 500 Negroes for 300 women in the Sultan's harem. He describes them as having flat noses, thick lips, hair curled like wool, and face fearfully black, so there is no white to be seen but their eyes.
Wait a minute. Flat nose, wide, dark. Wait a minute. In the Sultan, it said the Sultan. Go ahead, keep reading.
It says Turkish power extended beyond Greece into Bulgaria.
Turkish power. Negroes was ruling Turkey. Now, when we lost Turkey as a stronghold, was, hold up this sign right here, around the time of 1453. That's when the Ottoman Turks had sacked Constantinople. And then they changed the name from Constantinople to Istanbul, Turkey. But before that, it was called Constantinople after a famous black man named Constantine the Great. Now, people in history, dumbass niggas and stupid ass white people, they're gonna tell you that Constantine the Great was a white man.
Keep reading.
Go ahead.
Turkish power extended beyond Greece into Bulgaria, Romania, Serbia, Albania, and almost...
Wait a minute. Read them names again where it says the power extended.
Turkish power extended beyond Greece into Bulgaria, Romania, Serbia, Albania, and almost to the gates of Vienna.
And almost to the gates of Vienna. Right? Now, let me show you something. Almost everywhere you go, when they show a picture of Constantine, the picture is going to pretty much look like this. Right? Let me see, because my phone is a little slow. It's just taking a minute for the image to pop up. They're going to show you this bullshit that they concocted in the 1400s, which was the Renaissance, and they're going to tell you that that's Constantine the Great. Right? They're going to tell you that that's Constantine the Great. Most of these nigga scholars, whatever little book they read, is going to have this picture in it. So Constantine is a white man. To most of these dumb niggas who think they know something. But then if that's Constantine the Great, the only question I got to ask is, once my phone catches up, my phone is not the Galaxy. This ain't the Galaxy. Nothing. A lot of brothers got 4G. Well, guess what? I got no G. I mean, it say LG on it. But some of these brothers got 4G and 3G. This is no G right here, man. No, read that again. I'm trying to get the picture.
Once again, this is Nature Knows No Color Line, page 114.
Hey, let me use your phone. Pull it up. Let me pull it up on your phone.
It says Turkish power extended beyond Greece into Bulgaria, Romania, Serbia, Albania, and almost to the gates of Vienna.
Right. Now, again, that's Constantine the Great, from what they say. Right? Then, who's this guy? Who's this guy right here?
Constantine.
Wicked nigga.
And Constantine, he was a wicked nigga. Right? Because see, there's a lot of images of Constantine. But then there's the real image of Constantine the Great. Because they constantly lied about him and his mother. They took the actual paintings of him and they redid them over and they whitewashed it. It's a term called iconoclasm, which means the defacing of an image. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up here.
Keep reading?
Yeah, go ahead, keep reading.
Yeah, this is, it says, large numbers of the soldiers used in that conquest were Negro levies from Egypt and the Sudan. They left traces of their blood in the whites of all that region. In 1840, Egypt sent 30,000 Negro soldiers to ravage southern Greece.
Wait a minute, to ravage southern Greece.
30,000 Greeks. That's history they don't tell you.
Go ahead, keep speaking, huh?
Yeah. So, it says, Milligan tells of the large number of Negroes of both sexes he saw in Istanbul alone. He says from the white Caucasian to the black Negro, all the intervening tints and complexions are to be seen within the precincts of this metropolis.
Now your phone is doing it to me too. It's like,
among these various races of this African stands conspicuous on account of both the tint and the
that's
number.
Because it's like that's because I'm looking for. That's because I'm looking for. That's the image where they lighten him up. That's one where they like lighten him up, try to make him look like a white man. He was really a black man. Go ahead, keep reading. Let me see if the brother can pull it up. Or are you able to pull up something? Yeah, Constantine the Great. Images of Constantine the Great. Because they have it in there. They have it in there, but it's all scrambled with all the bullshit that they put up. Because when they took us down, what they started doing was, bring that picture over here. They would have white artists and sculptors take dark images. You see these black images here? These dark images, and repaint them over white. You see what he's doing? What is he doing? These dark images, he's painting them over and making them white. That's what these Orthodox Jewish rats is doing. They're taking all these images, the Lord and the Last Supper. This is probably John the Baptist right here. And they take all these images and they redo them over and make them look like they're white. That's what they did, and that happened basically in the 1400s. Yep, this brother had pulled it up. This brother's, go ahead, speak. Yeah, read that.
First Maccabees 3:48, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Right, that was during the time of Greece, the time of the so-called white man, all right, pillaging and doing all types of sacrilege, all right, taking our people down in the Hellenistic period, man, all right. They laid open the book of the law, which is the scriptures, the holy scriptures, all right, and they went and did this shit, man, iconoclasm, man. That's why you got all your that's why you got your Sistine Chapel and shit now, man. All right, over there in the Vatican, all right, they got the Sistine Chapel, all right, and the finger of God and Adam and all of this shit. That's all lies, man. That's the product of iconoclasm.
That's right.
Who's responsible for that? Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, and they were contemporaries, all right, of this bastard. All right, who this bitch, Lucrezia Borgia, that's her brother, yep. And he had sex with his sister, man. But check this out, Italy, right? Lucrezia Borgia, daughter of Pope Alexander VI, with her favorite Negro, I guess. All right, look at this, Lucrezia Borgia with a Jake right here. That's when they came and took over, took back power, man. All right, during the Renaissance era.
Just recently in the news, that hillbilly, he had that painting that's like this valuable. He didn't know how much it was worth. It was like this painting of the Lord from like the 1600s, and it was a straight up Jake. You can check it out.
Read that again.
First Maccabees 3:48, and laid open the book of the law, when the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Yeah, you so-called white people, you're the heathen, man. You're the smallest among the heathen, as the book of Obadiah says, man. All right.
Like this is a better picture of Constantine and his mother, Saint Helen. But they were actually darker than that. This is an image where they kind of lightened them up. And that's Constantine and his mother, Saint Helen. Who Mount Saint Helen was named after his mother. But this is an image where they lightened them up, because they were actually much darker than that. But that's just an example of it right there. Go ahead, Ak.
No. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Now check this out. Now real quick, this is another whitewashed image But you can see in these images that all these men here, they got afros and big beards. But they lightened them up. Now look there. That's Constantine in the middle. This is the Council of Nicaea. But they lightened them up. That's an example of it right there.
That's what I
Wait, went out? Okay. Went out? Where's it at? Right here? Okay. If enough time passes right now, hell, 100, 200 years into the future, they'll say that, who's phone? They'll say that, Michael Jordan was the greatest white basketball player to ever play the game. They ain't gonna change up Larry Bird. Magic Johnson will become a white man, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain. They'll be famous white basketball players another 100, 200 years from now. Hell, Muhammad Ali will be one of the greatest white boxers that ever lived. Because, where's that picture at? Right here. Because the same shit they did here with these images, they'll do that to Ali's image. They'll do it, they'll say Sonny Liston was one of the most feared white fighters that ever existed. They'll do the same thing. They'll do that. Lawrence Taylor was one of the greatest white men that ever played football. And they'll take his image and they'll start lightening it up and lightening it up.
Constantine. That's Constantine.
Oh, here's another one. This is okay. Now wait a minute. Hold on. This brother right here got a real good one. Now this is a more realer image of. Hold that one right there. Now look at this right here of Constantine, right there. This is the sculptor that